Yeah, see, like, all right, okay, all right. So let me give the audio just a moment to process. So I just let a student in, but I didn't see them on the roster because their student name is not showing. For these kind of interactions, you definitely want to be showing your official Morehouse student name. So there's one student on here. You're in the Zoom, but you didn't get attendance credit yet until you update. You need to update your name that's showing so that I can find you in my roster. Or either you definitely want to update that. So, as a general rule of thumb, you want to be showing your Morehouse student name. Because I take attendances, I let you guys in. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I want you also to be aware that this is being live streamed on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Beautiful Mind Pfeiffer. Is that student? I think he went out to try to fix it. Okay, which is fine. Um, my YouTube is Beautiful Mind Pfeiffer, and so this information that I'm going to be going through, this is the syllabus. You should be able to find it on our Blackboard page, right? So that was the holdup was that. Hang on. Uh-oh. Now, whoever this is, I don't see them. I don't see them in my roster. Okay, let me let them know. Okay. So I'm going to give it a moment for his audio to kick in. So I just let a student into the room. I'm just going to use his abbreviations of TM. I don't. I'm just doing that because I'm streaming live on my YouTube and I'm just trying to keep your information sensitive. I don't have you on my roster, so I just let a student in whose initials are TM. I don't have you on my roster, just so you know. Um, so just so that you're aware. I'm gonna let this student in. I take so. Let me kind of so again, what we're using today as an orientation to get caught up. So the hang up was that basically my hang on, Harvey. I you all were not showing up in my Blackboard roster. So like when I went to kind of like do the communique and like do everything we needed to do, it dawned on me. I was like, hey, this class isn't showing up, and so it took the institution some time to click on something on their end for this to show up so we can kind of get started. But it is what it is. That's part of adulting is just you got to do what you got to do the best you can. But you guys are here now, so if you made it into my Zoom, you got your attendance credit. One general rule of thumb, the way I kind of run these courses, so my name is Mr. Pfeiffer. This is College Algebra 1 with the online lab. Dr. Tawana Lamar is going to be the point person for your lab. I left her contact info on Blackboard. We'll kind of go through that towards the end of the presentation. So what we're doing today, we're using this as I thought I turned on the. I think I forgot to turn it on. Give me just a moment. Come on. Is it like this? Where is it? It was here. Give me a moment. I'm trying to turn these notifications off. It's like, most of the time nobody notices me, and then the minute I'm like streaming, like everybody want to talk at the same time. It's so funny. And like any other time, there it is. I was like, where is this option? Okay, I found it. Okay. Ah, go away. Go away. Come on. I'm gonna hop back over here. Okay. So, so yeah, we're using today as a makeup orientation so that we can just kind of get acclimated to what we need to. At any moment in time, feel free to either unmute yourself or type in the chat or raise your hand if you have a question about something. Once I kind of get into things, sometimes I mute the audio just so that I can focus. So the chat is always good. I monitor the chat, and I do recommend that you get the contact of a few of your at least like two or three, at least three of your classmates in every classes, in all your courses. Um, it's just good to have that point person. It's always good to have something like that, those contacts. Okay, and so what we're going to start with is the syllabus, which you can find on our Blackboard page. Right, it's like one of the first things there as soon as you log in. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of, let me see how I have this thing set up. So let's change this view. Seamless is right. Come on. Are you lagging on me? Is that what the problem is? Okay, let me reboot this. Sometimes it does need to be rebooted to behave properly. I'm going to close that out. Go like this. Okay, still loading. And I think it's this one. That's fine. I just need to display properly. I mean, this display is fine, but I don't like all my stuff showing. Come on. So again, my name is Mr. Pfeiffer. This is College Algebra 1. Let's see, it's looking better. It's almost there. Okay, this will work for now. And I want you over here. See, that's not supposed to be showing. What do I need to do? Not that. None of that's supposed to be showing. Okay, I'm going to reboot it one more time because it is still a little bit laggy. So the other part of it is, I've been like working with these devices since about 2 p.m. like nonstop. So, it's like, I think it's on its last leg. So because of stuff like this is why I do online asynchronous. I know we kind of missed the first few sessions, but no need to worry. Because of the way I do everything, you're actually not too far off from everybody else. Like, because you have access to everything that we've been discussing, and I'm going to show you how to find everything and like how everything kind of goes. I just need this to kind of get up to speed. I'm going to hop back over here. Okay, it looks better. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it just needed to be rebooted. Okay. So again, this is College Algebra 1 with Lab. We're going to take some time to make our way through the syllabus. If you were able to get into the Zoom, that's a good thing. That's a good sign. That means that you're at least, you can check your Morehouse emails. You know how to find things. So that's a really good omen. College Algebra 1 with Lab. This is section 18. It's the CRN. Again, my name is Mr. Pfeiffer, and I want you to also be aware that these sessions are being live streamed on my YouTube channel. So, I do my best to try to keep information as sensitive as possible. Try to be cognizant of certain information or whatever. You can reach me at my email, which you see in the syllabus. Emails are an okay way to communicate with me because I tend to like zone out and just not check emails. I had to like get into a certain state to check them and get caught up. Best thing to do is email me anyway. Hang tight. Let me get the student. Best thing to do is email me anyway. And if I don't respond in a timely manner, just ask me next time we're in class together. See, now this is making me log back in. Verify. I'm coming, guys. Yeah, email me anyway just to have things on file. But then if I don't respond timely, just ask me in the next class session. Come on. Oh, so that means I'm gonna have to do this. Give me a moment. Like this. Okay. So I got to put things back. We're here, and I need to pull up this right here. Okay, that looks good. We're gonna hop back over here. We can show it here. That looks good. That looks good. And then the final thing is right here. And these guys. Okay, so we got this one. There it is, right here. And this one. H.I. Uh-oh. I don't see him on my roster. What's his name again? Oh, okay. I see it. Okay. Okay. So a brief overview of my intent on the classes, how I run the classes. So these sessions are going to be online asynchronous. What that means is that I generally like record my sessions with everybody. I really use class time for like a Q&A in general. Um, the lectures are pre-recorded. Like honestly, the remaining lectures are available for the entire semester, already recorded on my YouTube. But I am making fresh sessions. I mean, fresh recordings just to have fresh recordings. So that's what I'm doing with my students earlier. I record those sessions. They're loaded on my YouTube. So today we just completed section 1.4. But really, the schedule you're only responsible for up to 1.2 at this moment, right? Um, the main thing that you need is the Pearson access. That was the main holdup, is because Blackboard wasn't available, so I couldn't link your homework into Pearson so that you can get started. But now when you go to Blackboard, you're going to see a folder number 4 that says assignments. You want to click on that and go ahead and get started on that. When you click on folder number 4 that says assignments, one of the first things you're going to see, it says all assignments, and you're going to be prompted for payment access. You're going to be prompted for access that you have to pay for. That payment runs you about $105. And so, you know, we use that for our online homework, online quizzes, online exams. That's basically where I'm going to be pulling your grade from. And that was the thing that was kind of like holding us up because of, things that were out of our control. But we got it up and running, so it's available now. If you need an extension, like to generate funds, um, when you're prompted for payment, you can actually get 14 days of temporary access and go ahead and get started. So for these first couple of weeks, there's everybody can at least be working, so that you don't want to. This is not stuff that you want to wait on. You want to just go ahead and knock it out. I did go ahead and make all your homework is available for the semester, the entire semester. So I'm not going to add any more homework. I will go through and add a weekly quiz that'll be due each week, but I'm going to make those available at once, right? So I'm going to sit down and make all of your quizzes available. The only thing that's not going to be available early are the exams. Um, you can anticipate online exams, and for exam 2, you can anticipate an oral exam, which we're going to figure out how to do it virtually, right? But we're going to make something where you sign up for slots, have your video enacted, and or a projector. We'll sit down and do some trial runs, but I want to do an oral exam where you defend yourself for about 15 to 20 minutes, something like that. It'll take some time, but we'll work it out. Let me see what else. Yeah, let's kind of keep making our way through the syllabus. Also, if you have questions, feel free to either unmute yourself or type in the chat. I monitor the chat if you want to ask questions. Also, I recommend that you link up with at least 3 of your classmates in all your classes and just to get their contact and exchange info and just work together. I would definitely recommend this. Also, if my presentations on YouTube seem like overwhelming, I'd also recommend sitting down with the tutors and like going through it with the tutors. Um, I think that's a good idea, right? A lot of students in college algebra need that kind of interaction. I think it's a good thing. I encourage it. I encourage you to work together. The main thing on my end that I need from you is basically that you show up each day just to get your attendance credit at a minimum, and then get your assignment submitted on Pearson promptly. With our assignments on Pearson, we get unlimited attempts. And even though assignments are due on a weekly basis, like every Monday at 9 a.m., you can honestly submit any assignment late with only a 10% late penalty. So even if you wait, and sometimes I have students that do this, they wait till the very last minute and they submit everything. And they max out everything. Like they sit, and you can see where they've been sitting on there for hours around the clock. But they do it. They submit it and they get perfect scores. But because everything is late, they get a 90. But if they had done that same thing just in time, then they would have got like an A or whatever, 100 or whatever. So I don't want you to worry about things being late. I just want you to get your assignments in and push those scores as high as you can. Again, we get unlimited attempts on everything, homework, quizzes, and the exams. Any exam I have on Pearson, unlimited attempts, only a 10% late penalty. So what that means is all the way up until the very end of the semester, if you want at least an A minus on any assignment, all it takes is repetition. Just keep knocking at that door until you get whatever score you want. I see the chat going off for a moment. I want to kind of get through a section really quickly, and then I'll address that. So we talked about my contact. You can use my email, but the best way to contact me is honestly during class time. I'm using class time more so as a Q&A. I've kind of been filling it right now with some lectures, but really these lectures are already available. I'd rather just use class time for Q&A. You made it to the Zoom, so we're not going to worry about that. We meet Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 to 4:50, right? For the lab, I put a handout on Blackboard. You want to connect with Dr. Lamar, and she'll give you the information on that. So there's a handout that's in Blackboard for the lab information. This semester runs from August 18th until December 10th, right? You made it into the Zoom, so we finally got that operational. This should be an up-to-date link, okay, and all of that, but you're here, so you know how to get in here. It should be this all the way until the end. And again, my office hours, we're going to use class time as office hours, other times by appointment, right? I started to schedule times outside of class, but then I was concerned, well, like if I schedule it here, some people may or may not be able to do it. So because this is online asynchronous, we can actually use class time as Q&A. So we can go through any homework assignment that you want. It's totally okay. I'm really just available, and I'm just trying to fill the space. I'm just trying to make myself available and fill the space and encourage you all to keep moving. As long as we're talking about math, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like this, like for instance, today we finished section 1.4, but that's just me getting ahead. The schedule on the schedule we're just supposed to be at section 1.2, right? So if you want to kind of match the schedule, it's really just the orientation, section 1.1 and 1.2 at this moment. I just took it upon myself to go ahead and try to get ahead because it's recordings and we can watch it at our leisure. I just went on and did section 1.3. I think I got his attendance already. I just went on and did section 1.3 and 1.4 just to get ahead. But yeah, those recordings are there. My YouTube, we're gonna hop over to Blackboard momentarily, and I'm gonna give you some links there, some pertinent links there. This is just the overview of concepts and objectives for this course. Um, and here's the grading rationale. So I think this is a College Algebra 1 with lab. Uh, so if you were to ignore this first line and this last line, like if you didn't have lab, that's how I would do the grading rationale. Homework is 10%, quizzes and any classwork is 10%, the exams are 60, the final is 20. So without those lines, that would be 100% of your grade. But because this class has a lab component, the lab actually accounts for 10% of your overall grade. So this original part I'm gonna scale this by 90% of the grade, and then whatever Dr. Lamar gives me, that's gonna account for the remaining 10% of your grade. I'm gonna get that from Dr. Lamar, right? Um, so what we do together accounts for 90% of your overall grade. Her portion had a Tyler Perry moment there. Hello there. I had that for a moment going on. But her portion, that's a little bit better, accounts for 10% of your grade, right? So, and I'll show you. We'll navigate over to Blackboard to see how to access that, how to access her information, and you want to definitely communicate with her to see what she expects you to do for the lab. But I think the lab is great. So for our interactions, we're going to be using Pearson. I'm watching the clock. Let me see the clock. We got a solid 30 minutes. For our interactions, we're going to be using Pearson. That's going to be for online homework, online quizzes, and online exams. I vouch for Pearson because each question comes with like a view and example. So they'll give you the exact same question with a different set of numbers, and they explain the reasoning behind each question, right? So they explain each question. I think that's a fantastic tool. But then many of the questions have additional learning aids such as like animations, videos. It comes with the e-textbook, right? And this tool that says Ask My Instructor. Say you're working on a question, you just can't figure it out. You click on the Ask My Instructor. It'll send me an email with a screenshot of the very question you're working on. I'll load it to my tablet, do a recording, load it to YouTube, and I'm going to reply with the link. I've already had at least one student make use of it. I mean, that's how I've been communicating with students remotely for some years now, well before the pandemic. So it is what it is. The grading rationale at the end of the semester, basically your 90s are A's, 80s are B's, 70s are C's, so on and so on. Officially passing the course at Morehouse College is going to be a C. So for us, that's a 70. Some disciplines will let you move forward with a D, but you're essentially guaranteed to move forward with a C, right? So we don't really want to aim for C, because if you aim for C, you're going to fall into one of these other categories. You want to aim for A or B, right? Okay. So that's the pertinent information there. Another thing I want you to kind of be aware of, notice that your homework and quizzes together, there's only 20% of your overall, it's less than 20% because it's 90% of that. You got to say that times 0.9. But your exams, it's going to be about 3 exams and a final. That counts for almost 80% of your grade, like the bulk of your grade, right? So I just want, the homework and quiz is a lot of work for low points, but it's the most important thing because the exams are based on that information, right? So you just got to make a plan and work the plan. This is just an overview of some concepts that we're going to be exploring in this topic. And then basically on any given week, this is the information that we're going to be focusing on. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. Again, I'm just doing that because we have access to recordings. But you see, like, for instance, last week where we missed that first day, I expect you to have gone through section 1.1 graphs of equations. So that video is available on my YouTube, right? I made a fresh one with the working video, so that one's fresh. We did this one this week on Monday, right? But really this week we're supposed to stop at 1.2. I went on and made fresh recordings for section 1.3, right? So then notice how the weeks jump from week 3 to week 5. There's a gap, all right? What happened to week 4? So in week 4, hopefully you can get a sense of what to anticipate. Week 4, we can anticipate exam 1. Week 8, we can anticipate exam 2. Week 12, we can anticipate exam 3. And then around here somewhere, we can anticipate a cumulative final, departmental final, common final, okay? So exam 1 should just be 3 sections, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. We get unlimited attempts at these assignments. And for exam 2, let's anticipate an oral exam. So I really want to, create time slots so that everybody signs up for. You show up, and either you turn your phone into like a projector so I can see your paper, but I also need to see your face. So if you're going to do that projector technique, I need to see your face as well. So you got to kind of figure that out. The main thing I need to see is like you working. If you have like a board, if you have a chalkboard that you can use, you can do that. If you have 2 cameras, like a laptop and a phone, you could turn your phone into a projector so you can see your work, and then show your face, so I can like see your face. I just want to see you guys work and you defend yourself, okay? Nothing rigorous, maybe like 20 minutes of just me barraging you with questions, all right? Nothing intense. It's gonna be stuff that you know, okay? But that's exam 2. That's the only time I really want to do that. So just anticipate something like that. Yeah. Okay. And then this last page of the syllabus, it's just a document saying that you've gone through the syllabus, you understand what's expected of you out of the course, and that you'll abide by the rules of the course. So then on the first line, you would like print your name, sign your name, put your Morehouse email and the date. I think I created a Dropbox in Blackboard where you should be able to submit this. So let's hop over to Blackboard and take a look at this information. Okay, this is section 18. Come on. All right, so let's hop over to Blackboard. And again, if you have questions, feel free to either type in the chat. I see the chat. Let me check the chat real quick. Or feel free to unmute yourself. Let's check the chat though. Okay, so we got like, I guess y'all are trying to get a group me. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, a group me is a good idea. Work together. I definitely encourage it. You're gonna need that stuff. Definitely seek out the tutors. You definitely want to link up with the tutors. That's a good move in my eyes. I'd rather you guys work together and just do that than to not do that. I want to see you guys get ahead, and it gets a little intense. In this pandemic, world where everybody's isolated and all this kind of stuff, and people can feel isolated, and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, you can see this. I think you can see it. Okay. So let's tour our Blackboard, and let me kind of point you towards things that are pertinent. I know you need to know. I'm watching the clock. I know somebody. I think he got attendance credit already. That's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Mm. Mm. Maybe I should jump over to there. Let me see. I think he was here earlier. Let me ask him. Mr. Birch, were you here earlier, or are you just joining? Like, did you get your attendance credit already? Okay. It's it's no worries. It's no worries. I didn't want to. Okay, we're good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I saw it. It's okay. And yeah, if you're in the Zoom now, because I take attendance as I let people into the Zoom. So yeah, again, this is asynchronous. The main thing is you show up each time, just check in, make sure if you have any questions or anything, you get them answered. Get your daily attendance. You're not required to stay, but you are required responsible for the information, right? So when you log into Blackboard, it should look something like this, right? It should take you straight here. Um, and then so let's click on this link and let's go on a little adventure. So we click on the link and these folders pop up. The syllabus, we actually just went through it. So I pulled the syllabus from here. So what we just went through is what's available on Blackboard. I think this is an updated Zoom link. So the past is what it is. It's in the past. Sometimes you got to put your past behind you. Not to quote, to steal a quote from The Lion King. It is what it is. But we're here now, so we're going to move forward. So this is an updated Zoom link. I think all of that is working, so we're going to kind of let that be. Let's see. I need to update the PowerPoint lecture slides. We can kind of skip folder number 3 for right now. The blank slides some of them are there, but that's not that good. But if we go to folder number 4 with assignments, that's important, right? So now when I click on it, it looks like this. And then you want to click on this one at the very top that says My Math Lab All Assignments, the very first one. So now when I click on it, and eventually yours will behave this way, it should put us right to our material, right? So now when you click on it, you might get prompted for registration. Just follow the prompts. Go ahead and register. If you're not ready to pay right now, when you're prompted to pay, there should be a link at the bottom that says get 14 days of temporary access. You want to go ahead and use that link. Go ahead and start the 14 days and go ahead and get started. But in the interim, do your best to try to go ahead and purchase full access. The students were telling me that the full access runs about $105. It may or may not sound daunting, but think about if your favorite sneakers were out, would you be willing to pay $105 for your favorite sneakers? If it was a new game, I don't know if they still charge for games or not, how that works, but would you be willing to pay? If you were going to a restaurant, would you be willing to pay? Right? It's the same thing, right? So as humans, we tend to fight for. It's called fighting for your limitations, where if it's something that we want, we don't even think about it. We just throw the money around and be balling. But then with something that's going to advance us, then we kind of get in our own way and block ourselves from our own greatness. So long story short, I know you can handle it. Like you wouldn't be here if you couldn't. And I'm sure you can get that done and do what you need to do. Oh no, 10%. Let me get this other one going. Hopefully we can have minimal interruptions. But yeah, but once you go say that again. You have the full access. So yeah, so that is a good question. Hang on, let me get this audio fixed. Hang on, can you hear me? Give me a second. I'm trying to switch from my right ear to the left ear. Hang on, sorry. Come on. Come on. because my earbud was like on low power. It had like 10%. It was about to die, so I had to switch it over. I'm still trying to get the audio to show up in this other ear though. Give me just a moment. And then, let's see, output. Yeah, that's showing there. Shoot. I knew that was gonna happen. Give me a moment, guys. Yeah, my computer is like throwing a little bit of hissy fit. So we might have to move forward with without me being able to hear you because I just can't get the thing to connect again. So just you have to use the chat. What was I saying? But yeah, just get access. Yeah, just use the chat. I can't think right now. I can't figure out what it takes to get this going. We got a solid 15 minutes. Let me check the chat. I see some activity. Cool. It's just group me's going. Again, I think that's a good idea. I encourage it. So yeah. So once you get full. Oh yeah. So the thing about, I know there was a question about. So if you need a refund, like okay, that's a good question because if you once you purchase full access to this specific book, if you ever going forward, like another professor uses the exact same book for my math lab, you don't have to purchase access again. So it sounds like there was at least one student that may have had full access in the past using the same book on Pearson, and so you can use that same access code again. Like you don't have to purchase a new one. And so with this book, we use this book for College Algebra 1, College Algebra 2, and Pre-Calculus. So there's at least 3 different classes that use the same book. So so that I know at least one student might be experiencing that. Wherever you bought it from, you just have to contact the vendor for a refund. Like if you worked in the summer or something like that where you have full access and you know it's still working and it's still active, you just have to contact the vendor. So like if you got it from Morehouse, you have to contact them. If you got it online, you have to contact them. Or you might be able to just sell your books or something like that. But what you're describing is accurate, where as long as you have full access on Pearson and it's the exact same book, you don't have to purchase access again. Let me see the time. But once you do get full access, it's going to look something like this. I'm going to click on the first one. And now notice with this first one, when I click on it, it says prerequisite warning. Before you can work on any assignments, any remaining attempts on this assignment, you must receive a 70% or more on this YouTube thing, right? So if we click on that link, and I think it's this one out here, basically that takes you right into my playlist for the lectures, right? So I went on and made the lectures available. These are like the lectures I did with the students in the spring. I have another playlist that's updated. So you just have to go to my YouTube channel and you can get an updated one because you see the first 2 of the videos are blacked out. So you have to go to this other playlist to get an updated one where the videos are working properly. Those first 2, the rest of them, these are basically the sessions that I've had with students in the spring, and I'm making fresh ones with the students from now. So there's a couple of playlists that have the pertinent information, right? And that pretty much gets you all the credit that you need for that assignment so you can start. So then these are basically all the homework assignments that I wanted to work on throughout the semester. But I'm also going to be updating this with like weekly quizzes. The quizzes are going to be short, like 5 minutes. 5 questions, should I say, not 5 minutes, but 5 questions. Short something or another. Do on a weekly basis. I think for these first few assignments, I gave you like a 2-week extension, right? So I gave you a little bit of an extension, but you still want to kind of be working on that because exam 1 is going to be that week 4. So I went on and gave you 2 weeks extension on the first couple of exams, first couple of assignments, but you definitely want to just kind of go ahead and get started. I saw some activity in the chat. I'm just going to check it really quickly. Let's see. So if I already have the math lab, can I return the other one? Yep. So we spoke about that. So the lab is a completely separate class that we schedule. Yeah, the lab you want to let's get back to that. So let's hop back over. I'll come right back to the chat. I want to hop back to Blackboard and use Blackboard to talk about the lab. So now on the left, you see where it says online Alex Lab. You can either go there. I want to make, let me see something really quick. If I click on that link, here it is. Yeah. So you have this online Alex Lab, the syllabus, right? So she has her information there. I think it's a Zoom information, and she gave you some instructions. I also uploaded a syllabus, right? So use that information. You want to reach out to Dr. Lamar, and she'll walk you through what you're required for the lab. So whatever she says that you need to do, that's what you need to do. I'm going to be in communication with her, and whatever she tells me, that's what I'm going to use to like update your grade with 10%. Honestly, on my end, it'll probably be like a completion grade. As long as I see some activity where you've been doing the things that she asked you to do, I'll probably give you full credit for that. So that's nearly a guarantee, like 10% of your grade guaranteed. You know, just do the things that she asked you to do, and like I'll look at it and then I'll approve it. If I can't find any evidence of you doing anything, then I can't give credit where there's no credit due. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that was what I wanted to say on the lab, on the Alex lab, and so the other thing, so where we're going to be using Pearson to talk about our current course load, the reason I think Alex is a good idea, the way that Alex works, oh, is it finally working now? The way that Alex works is that, so Alex, you take like a pre-test, and then it gives you coursework based on areas that it feels that you're deficient in, right? So basically, Alex is trying to fill in things from the past that you might be deficient in. I think that's a great tool, right? Because if we try to do that manually, it can be a little bit challenging to say, oh, well, how do you feel about this? Like if you did a Q&A, it's a bit of a challenge. Versus you take a pre-test, then it says, oh, well, you got this wrong, so let's work on this coursework for that, so on and so on. We have about 6 minutes. I want to keep it for about another 6 minutes. I'm going to try to touch on pertinent things, and then we'll wrap it up. So we talked about the lab and how to approach that. If we haven't finished all of the Alex modules, should we finish all of them? Again, I would say talk to Dr. Lamar. In the past, what she's done, it was like, okay, it's all based on where you come in on the Alex lab. Like if you come in at college algebra, if you come in anything below college algebra, then basically the goal is to try to finish at the level of college algebra by the end of the semester. If you come in at the level of college algebra, then you want to finish at the level of pre-calculus at the end of the semester. And if you come in at the level of pre-calculus or higher, then she just wants she has an articulation on what she wants you to do there. But I would just say communicate with her as far as the lab is concerned, because that's what she does, right? So that's her thing. Okay, these are good questions. I'm so glad that we were able to connect, because I was getting irritated. I was like, hey, my students need to get ahead. This stuff is hard, and like it's hard enough as is by itself, and so you don't want to add this thing of they can't access to no fault of their own. I just wanted to give you guys a fair shot at getting ahead. Like everybody else. So anyway, let me kind of keep making my way through this. We only have a few more minutes. So we talked about the assignments and how to access and registration. So here's another link. Let me click on this and see what happens. So it opened up my actual YouTube. And this is the older one. So I need to update those links, because if I go back, and you can't see it because it's on my tablet. How did they open it on my tablet? Oh, because I'm working on my tablet. I'm so confused. Wait a minute. Where is it? Yeah, it's supposed to be. Why is it not showing? Well, anyway, for some reason it's not showing. I don't know why it's not showing. Maybe I need to hop over here. No. Screen is sharing. Well, it might be the platform or something that I'm using. Maybe that's frozen. Okay, let me reboot QuickTime, because QuickTime might be frozen. I'm gonna just try to be quick with it. Hang tight, not that, right here. Cancel. Let me try QuickTime. No, I don't want to end. I just want to quit this. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna reboot QuickTime, and I'll be right back. QuickTime player, not that one. QuickTime. Okay. Because it seemed like it just crashed or something. I'm watching the clock as well. I'm not gonna keep you past. Let me go like this. On this, we want to do a new. Come on. Eesh. Zoom. crashed again. Let's try this one more time. Cancel. Okay. Come on. Okay, it looks like it's working. Okay, let's try that one more time. So if I click on my link, yeah, I think that just QuickTime it crashed. So this one is fine. The only two that don't really work right now are the first two. But if I go, I have another playlist. I'm gonna go to my channel. So to this channel, playlist, not the light. I think it's this one, the live sessions, right? So these are the sessions that I've been doing with the students this semester. So you have, I just loaded one of the orientations with one group, and then basically I just been doing videos for each section. So section 1.1, one full stream of that. Section 1.2, one stream of that, right? I went on and did 1.3 that's for next week. I just went on and did it now. And then the 2 weeks after that, 1.4. So I'm just trying to get ahead on the lectures. But for exam one, you're only responsible for section 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, right? Okay. So I think that's reasonable. Let's hop back to Blackboard. So you have that link to my YouTube that you can use. Again, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. Let me expand this. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube and turn on your notifications because sometimes students, when I start answering homework questions, you want to just at least be aware, even if you don't watch the video, you just want to be aware of the videos that I'm loading because so that way if you have the same question, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I remember he loaded a video on that. Let me go watch that video. You see what I'm saying? Come on. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. Let me share the screen. Let's share like this. Maybe that's why it wasn't working because it might not work with Zoom, but that's okay. So I think if you watch the video, you can see how everything was working. Okay. So we talked about my YouTube handouts. Handouts are just like, it's just some handouts I felt like you would need. Basically, they're on factoring. So the first one is just an overview of factoring. The second handout is like a full chapter on factoring. So that's just for factoring practice. And then box links. So any of the handwritten stuff that you see, anything that you see me writing, you can actually get it in this folder number 7 that says box link. If you click on that, it should take you to like box, like because Morehouse has box or whatever. This one, it should bring you here, and the notes are going to be in folder number 1, right? I do need to load the one from today. Yeah, this is fine. All right. So that's going to be a copy of any handwritten thing. And then if you need to share files with me, that's where this folder number 8, you should be able to load it there and I can receive it. Okay. So let me check the chat. If there aren't any burning questions, I see at least one little bit of activity. Let's see. So since this is our first time in class, what is the homework in order to catch up? The homework is on Pearson. So folder number 4, assignments, right? If you click on folder number 4, the first item that says all assignments, you want to open that up. And you see, so right now, weeks 1 and 2, I went on a granted extension on weeks 1 and 2, right? So we're at the end of week 2. We're moving into week 3. So there are video lectures associated with those. And then, basically weeks 1, 2, and 3 in preparation for exam 1 at week 4. Let's see, we can't start the assignments in Pearson because of the prerequisite or your YouTube. How do we complete that? You basically click on the link, right? So when you open it up, there's a blue link. You click on it, and that'll give you credit for it, right? That's kind of what I did in the video a little bit. Okay. These are good questions. These are really good questions. So I still see brothers that are collecting information on the GroupMe. I think that's a great idea. Just work together, get your stuff done. If there aren't, who is this? Mr. Mitchell. That's a good question. Okay, let me stop the stream and then I'll pull that up. So on that note, we're going to end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day. Hang tight, gentlemen.